Hello again, it's me, Laura, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about querying and pitches. So I've chosen, I think, to go the self-published route, which means I don't need to send out queries, but I've done it in the past. And I've mentioned this before in a video, but I used this website, Query Tracker, to find agents and to keep track of them. So just organizing who I've queried and available agents to query, and it's been good. But I recently found out about this option as well from a writer friend. I've been loving making connections through the writing community, and it's so fun to help each other out and to get more resources. So this is one, Publishers Marketplace, where you can first you will research books that are like yours. Then you will put in the title into Publishers Marketplace and you can find the agent representing that author, or so rather you'll put in the author's name or the book. I'm not actually sure, but then you find out who the author or the agent for that author is, and then you can look into that agent to see if they are accepting submissions. So that would be a route if I choose to go that way. And here is my dilemma, and I would love to hear your feedback, wonderful viewers and supporters, which one you think might be a better approach. So I have already submitted my manuscript with illustration notes to my illustrator, who I found on Fiverr, who is amazing. And I would really like to continue to work with him. But in the meantime of when I sent him my manuscript, and now there was a big earthquake, we've been on a standstill, which is acceptable and understandable. But in the meantime, I still work on the story in my mind and apparently on my paper because I changed it. I went ahead and changed the whole thing. And I thought I was ready, like this was going to be in my hands, delivered to people around the world. But then I read this blog post where the author interviewed an agent I really respect, Adria Goetz. I don't know if that's how you say her name, but she had said one thing she really likes about characters is when, like in picture books, is when they have agency. And so I thought, well, how could I get Michael to have agency? Because my book is about this boy who loves to visit, a book about a boy whose dad is in jail. And he really looks forward to Wednesdays because he gets to visit his dad. And I thought, okay, so how could I switch this up a little so he has agency? And just played around with it. I never expected it to really stick. But then I liked it. My revision was now Michael is missing his dad, same. He misses him, same, but he is afraid to visit the jail. And so he wants to see his dad, but he's afraid to go. And I felt like that followed a better plot arc. And, where there's a character who wants something and there's an obstacle that stands in their way. And so they have to decide what they're going to do. Hang on. And so this is my new pitch. So whenever you're querying, whether or not I decide to actually query people again or not with this story, I think this is an important skill. So little lesson. I am a teacher by trade. I've been teaching for so many years. Look at these wrinkles. So many years. And I am going to teach you about pitches. This I learned from a conference this summer. Just kidding. It wasn't even this summer. There's a conference happening this summer called WIFR, and the Writers and Illustrators for Young Readers Conference, that I heard is amazing. I've never gone, but this year, they had earlier this year, a kickoff event. So they talked about pitches. So when you're thinking of making a pitch, it can be just one sentence, and that's nice. If it's just one brief sentence, you'll see pitches that are longer, but you're basically just, how would you sell this book to someone if you had a really short amount of time? And just, when people say, what's your book about? And then you can say this. So you start with your main character and an adjective that describes them, their goal, what conflict stands in their way, which again, before he didn't really have a conflict. Like his whole life was conflicted, but he didn't have a specific conflict we were addressing in that story. What are the stakes if they fail? An interesting element that will make your sentence stand out, which is obviously related to your story, and then a setting if that's important. So this is not mine. This is from somebody at the conference is using Wizard of Oz as an example. I apologize, I don't know who that person was, but they were someone great. And here is what they wrote. Dorothy is a lonely farm girl. Her goal is to return home. What stands in her way is that she needs the Wizard of Oz and battles a witch. This is fun because my 6-year-old and I just read this story this year. So it's fun to use this as an example. An interesting tidbit is that, all that, the stakes that she may be in Oz forever. And then, so the one sentence pitch would be, after a twister transports a lonely farm girl to the magical land of Oz, she must battle an evil witch with a flying monkey army to find the wizard who can help her return home. Pretty good. So I just plugged in my story, my new one, my revised one. I seriously, you guys, I have revised the story for a year, and now I'm revised. It's like I'm starting from square one, I feel, because now that I made all these major revisions, not just like minor edits, I have a lot of work to do. So every book you read, just like hold it and treasure it and know that it has been the heart and the soul and breath of somebody out there. So I have a young boy, his name's Michael, but they told me don't say the name, so I didn't. And what does he want? He wants to visit daddy in jail. I mean, he doesn't want to see him in jail, but he wants to see him. And the conflict is that he's afraid of the jail. I mean, those spiky curly fry fences are just no bueno. And they really are just scary. If you've ever seen those, they're intimidating. And the stakes, I felt like, I don't know, that was a little hazy, but he'll miss out on that connection. He will keep thinking about it. I don't know. Let me know if you can think of something better for that. And the element I said that was interesting is that the dad's in jail. I mean, it's just unique, I guess. Maybe it stands out. So this is what I came up with. After his dad goes to jail, emotions play hide and seek inside a young boy, excuse me, who longs to see dad, but he was afraid of the gray building with curly fry fences. Today is visiting day, and Michael has a choice to make. Dun, dun, dun. And so here's where I'm at. I feel like really compelled to get this story out there. I feel like it's kind of the self-proclaimed mission that there's someone out there that would benefit from my story. And I am a huge proponent that books change lives, and books have changed my lives. How many lives have I had? They've changed my life. And I want to help anyone that I can that's of interest to me. And so I feel like self-publishing this book would help get it out faster, because publishing traditionally can take years, many. And I'm just thinking, what if somebody out there needs it now? But then I'm just thinking, what if I should just chill out and send a few more queries? Because I've decided to self-publish for a few reasons, but one of them because I couldn't find an agent to represent me. And now that I've changed my book and made it more of a traditional story arc, perhaps it's more powerful, more compelling, that he's afraid rather than that he just is like super excited to go, and it's telling us how his visit goes. It's like he's overcoming that fear, he grows as a character. Maybe somebody else would, maybe an agent would want this now. And so that's where Query Tracker and the Publishers Weekly comes in, and just like all the connections with other authors and talking and looking, and maybe even thinking outside the box and sending my manuscript to publishers specifically, not to agents only. And I don't know, I just have a lot of thoughts in my mind right now. So I would love your input, what you think. And, maybe at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, a book is a book, and you get it out there how you get it out there. And that's the accomplishment. And maybe you just like put it into the hands of God, universe, whoever you believe in, and think that the right person will get the book. I think so. but that's kind of where I'm at. So what I did recently is on Twitter, this is my fancy writer's Twitter account where nobody sees anything I post, so I don't post very much. I haven't figured out the Twitter hatedness yet. So I just have this and I connect with other writers. But what I have done that I liked the most with Twitter is I've only used it for a few months. So I'm sure there's a world of possibilities that I'm not taking advantage of. But I've done this PB pitch. So somebody, I'm not sure who, created this, and people on a certain couple days of the year do this PB pitch where authors will pitch their story. And if an agent likes it, they will heart it. So if you're not an agent, then you don't heart it, even though kind of a lot of people still do, it seems, that aren't agents. But anyways, so this was my pitch that I just read to you, and I put it on there, and it was really fun to connect with authors. People, in the comments talked about how important of a story this is. And I'm always afraid to like put people's names or things like on YouTube. As a school teacher for so long, there's FERPA and all that, but if I clicked this little thing and showed you, people would say really nice things about my story and how people need this in the world. It's not a message that's covered enough, and that this is a very warm story despite the topic, and a very worthwhile story. So those are what some other people said about my story on Twitter. And anyway, so I did do this wondering if, hey, maybe my new twist will get some agent attention. No, but there's always these other options. So that's where I'm at, just kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, but knowing that my book will be coming in sometime in the future, and that there's someone out there that could use it, and I hope to find them, and I hope they will have hope and comfort in a difficult situation, because I've been there. If you noticed on my little pitch, it said hashtag PB pitch and then a hashtag own, which means an own voice story. So I never visited my dad in jail. He's never been in jail, but I did visit a family member, and it's not easy. So that's enough for today, but I hope you are doing something creative today and something that fills your soul. And until we connect again, have a wonderful day. Bye.